MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show, the show for all our wonderful entrepreneurs out there. And many entrepreneurs suffer from this thing called burnout. We work, well, a lot, a really lot. And then one day we can't work anymore because we just can't get out of bed. And maybe there are some signs before that can tell us to stop doing what we're doing, or do it differently, or think about it differently. And so today we've brought into studio a specialist, Judy Klipin. She's a coach, and she specializes in making work for you. Welcome to the Big Small Business Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's understand what burnout is, because, you know, I work with lots of entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur myself. And there are times I feel tired. There are times I feel tired for a long period of time. And there are times where I just take a day off and the next day I'm back to normal. And there are times I take a day off and I'm not back to normal. So let's try and get a definition of what is burnout, because maybe people are just tired, or maybe people are really just burnt out.
Good question. So I think that often people say, oh, I'm so burnt out, when actually they are, as you say, just tired.
Yeah.
And I think the way to differentiate between burnout and tiredness is, if it's just tired, then after a period of rest, you will go back to your normal kind of resting state. But if you've got burnout, it doesn't actually matter how much you rest. It doesn't matter how long your holiday is. You still feel as exhausted and overwhelmed and stretched as you did before you took any rest. So tiredness you can restore with rest. Yeah. Burnout is much more systemic than that.
So is it physical? Is it psychological? Is it a mixture of the two?
It's everything. It's a very systemic illness. So it's physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's relational, and it is also spiritual. It affects every single aspect of our lives.
Okay. So I in the intro, I said there might be some signals, some symptoms that you're feeling. What are those?
So on each of those levels, there are symptoms. Physically, we start to feel tired much quicker than we normally do. We don't feel as refreshed as well as we should. We don't have the energy or the inclination to be doing physical exercise. Mentally, we can't concentrate as well or for as long. We've got brain fog. We struggle to find the words. We are easily distracted. Emotionally, we can become quite irritable, quite sad, quite just feeling a bit worried about things. Relationally, we start to withdraw from relationships and from interactions. And spiritually, we start to question the choices that we've made, because things don't feel as exciting as they used to. One of the key symptom that is a big canary for burnout is craving sugar, carbohydrates, and caffeine. So if you find yourself needing more energy drinks, or more coffee, or more chocolate, or more carbs, or also salty food, then that is a good indication that you are at the very least heading towards burnout, if not already there.
And are some people more vulnerable to it than others?
So definitely there are some people who are more vulnerable to it, people who are very hard on themselves. Often people talk about A-type personalities, perfectionists, but I think there's also something a bit low, but kind of deeper than that, and that is that people who had a particular childhood, inconsistent, unpredictable, we tend to be, which is basically most people in this country, but we tend to be very hard on ourselves. We judge ourselves without mercy. We seek affirmation and approval, even though we often don't believe it when it comes. We guess what normal is, and so we don't know what's a realistic expectation of us. We push ourselves very hard. We struggle to ask for help. We struggle to say no. And so obviously all of those things make us very vulnerable to developing burnout, because we struggle to know when to stop.
Okay, so I I work hard. I'm used to working hard. I go on holiday and I come back from holiday. I have a good rest. And the first day I get back, I battle to get to 5 o'clock. Like then the second day I get to 5 o'clock, and by the third, fourth day I'm normal. So in my mind, how I'm interpreting that is that there is a certain fitness to working.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a fitness, and then I've lost my fitness of working. And once I'm back in that fitness, I don't feel tired at all when I'm in that state. Is that just a made-up story in my head, or is there is there the concept of being fit to work? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand how that relates to burnout and the concept of fitness. I'm trying to relate that.
Sure. So I think that there's definitely a thing like fitness to work, and we definitely get out of our routines and we get tired more quickly when we've had a break. If you are able to pick that up again quite quickly, in a couple of days, then that's totally normal and totally fine. What often happens with people who have burnout is that their bodies are so depleted that they need an adrenaline rush to get them going and to keep them going, which is why they reach for the coffee, they reach for the energy drinks. Not good. They kind of go into the stress, fight or flight mode. And the problem is that adrenaline is great because it gets you started and it gets you back into things, but it also makes you crash.
Yeah.
And then once you crash, you need more adrenaline. And it's not sustainable. So what you're talking about having a fitness for work is a very different thing from being reliant on the adrenaline that your body uses to push you and keep you going.
Okay, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Judy Klipin, who is a specialist in burnout. And I think it's such a nice conversation to have for us entrepreneurs. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.